Hey everyone, how are we? Just doing a reading today for what is coming up next in love. What's the next big thing in love for everybody at the moment? Okay, so it doesn't matter whether you're single or taken. We're just going to be looking at just the general elements of love. So sometimes I do find some things that are not specifically like romance related do pop on through with that as well because I do like to say sometimes our soulmate is money, and if that's what wants to come on through for us, so be it. Okay, but today I will be using two decks. I do have um, the Paper Oracle Lenormand deck. I believe that's the title. I'll just double check there because I've got so many decks that sometimes I get them mixed up, and I want to make sure I'm giving you guys the right names. Yeah, so it is the Paper Oracle by Eric Mail. Okay, it is a gorgeous deck. It does have some extra cards in it, which I think they're going to be quite suited for today's sort of reading. I do also have this other deck. It's nowhere near completed yet. I am actually going to be, I think, painting this one. It's just sort of a base deck at the moment, so I will be painting over the words that I've got here. As you can sort of see, I've just got letters, star signs, and I also have months mixed in there as well. So I've just got them written there at the moment, so I know which card will be which when I do start sort of painting those, so that I'm not getting confused or whatnot. But so I will be using those as well, so we can maybe get some extra insight into what's coming up next for us all there. But trying to do a bit of a quicker read today. I do have a very bad habit of talking too much, but we'll get straight on into it with Aries. So what's the next big thing in love for Aries? Next big thing in love for Aries, please. Okay, so Aries, we do have the hourglass as well as the tower coming on through as the next big thing coming up for you with love. So we are seeing the divine timing card. Okay, so I have a feeling that this is something that we may already be sort of expecting to come our way when it comes to love. It very likely could be somebody from the past. With that tower card there as well, feeling like it's something that you've already laid the foundations for, and it's just a matter of waiting for the right time for that to actually come on through and manifest completely. So whether this is something that you yourself are manifesting, but like I said, it definitely could be some sort of past energy coming back around. It could be somebody older than you as well, with the tower there. Or we could actually be looking at things like, you know, the next big thing for you is taking some time in solitude. Okay, that also could be what's coming up, and be the most important thing coming up for you with love, Aries. But I really do feel that with the divine timing card there, we probably are looking at something that we're just sort of waiting for the right time to come about for that to come into our lives. So, if you have been sort of trying to manifest a specific person or a specific type of a person, it's just a matter of waiting, I feel, because this is, it's going to be the next big thing in love for you. It's just a matter of when that, we're sort of waiting on when. We're not sure exactly when that's going to pop on out, but we may, you never know, we may see a month popping on out, giving us a better idea of when that may be. So the next big thing in love for Aries. Next big thing in love for Aries, please. I will draw 3 of those, I think. Okay, so we're getting Gemini, N, and June. Okay, so the letter N may be important with this connection. You know, obviously one of their initials could start with N, or there could be some sort of element that you know, there's quite a lot of keywords that you can probably think of with the letter N, you know, that may end up important as well. So if there is a random word popping into your mind right now that starts with the letter N, that may be important when it comes to that connection as well. But we are seeing June and Gemini. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's a sort of very similar time frame. Gemini season and June, I believe, even coincide. If not, they are like very, very close to each other. I'm just, you know, we're in Taurus season right now, and that'll be swapping into Gemini, you know, halfway through May, so in June as well. So there you go. So it may be a June Gemini will be the next big thing for you in love, or we could actually be talking about that specific time frame, something occurring for you. So that's only like just over a month away now. So you know, we might be seeing something coming on through soon. That may be that divine timing, sort of, that may be sort of giving us that time frame of when we should expect to see something popping on out for you, Aries. So let me know in the comments how that resonates for you and your particular situation. If it doesn't resonate, I would suggest to check your moon sign as well. I do find I do tend to read for sun and moon mostly, but you know, obviously, you know, if you do have a strong placement that is other than those, that may also be the case as well. Specifically, you know, love with the Venus signs do sometimes tend to come on through as well. Okay, so moving on to Taurus. How are we today, Taurus? Just asking today what the next big thing for you in love is going to be. Next big thing for Taurus in love, please. Okay, so we're seeing the stars card there as well as the coffin. Okay, so it feels like, you know, your wishes are coming true, and your wishes are going to be fulfilled, but there's firstly something that you need to close out before you can have that new beginning and have those new wishes coming through. So there may have been some things that, you know, you've wished for in the past that you actually no longer wish for. So making a conscious effort to close those things out of your sort of list of wishes, and to sort of focus on new beginnings in when it comes to things that you are wishing for and desiring when it comes to love. Okay, but with the stars card, they're definitely seeing you know, wish fulfillment for you, Taurus. It's always a beautiful card as well. So yeah, the coffin does talk about, you know, things needing to end in order to start those new beginnings, death and rebirth. That's sort of a vibe. So sometimes it can also talk about, you know, the next big thing in love for you, maybe like the death of one love in life, which actually gives birth to a brand new love for you, and a brand new wish that you maybe didn't even realize that you had coming on through for you, Taurus. But we'll grab a couple of these. These are just personal cards that I'm using. I haven't finished these ones. They're just very basic at the moment. I will be painting them eventually so that, you know, they're a bit pretty. But we're just going to grab, I think, 3 of those and see if we can get any extra information for you, Taurus. So Taurus, next big thing in love, please. Okay, so interestingly enough, I do have a combination of letters, months, and signs in that deck, and we've got 3 signs that have popped on out. Okay, so these 3 signs may be significant to you, and it may just be showing us as well that you know, you're going to have options when it comes to when these things are occurring for you, as well as you know, the people involved as well. You may have different options. Okay, so we're seeing Leo, Virgo, and Sagittarius. So Leo and Virgo, that possibly could be a time frame as well, because Leo and Virgo season are right next to each other. But then we've got Sagittarius, which is November, December as well. So I feel like Sagittarius is probably more related to a person, whereas Leo and Virgo is probably more talking about the time frame. Okay, so one of those signs there may be significant when it comes to the next big thing for you in love there, Taurus. Okay, and like I say, if it doesn't resonate, check your other signs as well, check your other placements. Like I'm just doing a super quick sort of little reading here, and it's not going to resonate for everyone within the collective, but, here's hoping that I can pull out some things that are going to resonate for the majority of you, okay? But moving over to Gemini, how are we, Gemini? I'm just doing a quick reading today, looking at the next big thing in love for you, Gemini. So the next big thing for Gemini in love, please. Okay, so we are seeing some sudden changes coming on through. This is the knife. The knife. It is traditionally the scythe card, but with this particular card, the knife imagery there, it does sort of talk more about having to cut certain things out in order to allow divine timing to come on through, because that's the hourglass there. So that is the divine timing card. So there may be a few things you need to cut out in order to bring through the next big thing for you. So needing to make some sort of sudden break or change there, in order to allow divine timing, allow the universe to bring things to you as you deserve them and as you need them, but obviously you're having to do a little bit of work as well. Okay, Gemini, but I'll grab you some of these, turning out to be very much time frames today, but we'll see what they have to say. Gemini, what's the next big thing for Gemini in love, please? Okay, so we're seeing you, September, and Gemini coming on out. Okay, so you may connect to another Gemini, but I feel like with the you there as well, it could actually just be talking about you, Gemini, you needing to do the work, and then things will start occurring for you. Then you can see the next big thing coming for you, possibly in September. Okay, so they could have a September placement, or that is important, or literally be born in September, or that could be when we do see things starting to, that divine timing coming on through, could be September timeframe there as well. So let me know how you go with that. Okay, so moving on to Cancer. How are we today, Cancer? Just having a quick look at the next big thing for you in love. Okay, so Cancer, what is the next big thing for Cancer with love, please? The next big thing for Cancer in love. Oh, I had to jump out there. I will just grab you one more as well, Cancer. Okay, so the ones that jumped out there, we did have the stars and the clouds. Okay, so the clouds is all about thoughts, whereas the stars is all about wish fulfillment. So it sounds as though you've got your wishes are heavy on your mind at the moment, Cancer. Really sort of thinking about what exactly it is that you are wishing for, possibly overthinking and a little bit anxious about when am I going to get my wishes come true type of vibe there. So the next big thing for you there, you're already sort of, I feel like this is a very manifestation type vibe as well. So, you're already starting to manifest these wishes in love coming on through for you. But then the other card I've got there is the scales. So we may possibly be looking at a Libra coming on through when it does come to the scales. It can also sometimes talk about Gemini, like the twins. So you do see that sort of balance element coming on through, but that'll be the next big thing coming through for you, is finding that balance and finding somebody who balances you as well, Cancer, I feel. That may be quite important to you, Cancer, to find that sort of balance and stability for yourself. So I'll grab you a couple of these other cards as well. These are just a deck I've made up myself. They're nowhere near finished. I will be painting these, making them a bit pretty, but I just thought we'd have a go with them today and see if we could get any extra insight for you there. So the next big thing for Cancer in love, please. Okay, so we are seeing a Capricorn that may be important to you, Cancer. That does say Capricorn, and the Capricorn season is December, January as well. So it could also be talking about that time frame. We are also seeing the letter B and the letter R coming on through as well. So babe might start with an R. But they may also be a Capricorn. Okay, but like I said, that could also talk about Capricorn season, and that is not necessarily initials. It could be, like cute little names you call each other or things like that. Like babe, obviously, quite often is a B word there. Could also talk about things like babies and whatnot as well. But yeah, so I'm actually feeling drawn to tell you as well that these colors may be significant. So like blue or bronze, and then red, may be important when it comes to this particular connection as well. Okay, so pretty much any keyword that jumps into your mind when you see those letters B and R, that they may be connected to that particular person. Okay, so if that doesn't resonate for you, Cancer, feel free to check your other placements. I do find quite a lot of the time people's moon signs do resonate strongly in my readings as well. Okay, moving over to Leo. How are we, Leo? Just looking today at the next big thing coming your way in love. The next big thing for Leo in love, please. The next big thing for Leo in love. Okay, so we've got the fox and the letter there. So communication definitely coming up for you there, Leo. I do find that, this is all about communication. Okay, so talking to people online, texting, calling, in person, talking, that any sort of communication, but definitely having some sort of communication coming in strong for you in the near future there, Leo, when it comes to love connections. And now the person that might be coming in for you there, they're going to sort of embody that fox energy, I feel. They may be sort of like selling themselves to you a little bit. The fox can talk about, the salesman type of vibe. So it could also be someone you meet through work, and that's where the communication starts, is that we're, having to talk to each other through work, those kinds of a thing, because it is sort of a career card generally as well. But, with that fox energy, particularly in this deck, you can kind of see it's the fox with the 9 tails. Okay, so this person may sort of embody that shapeshifter type vibe when you do come across them as well. They may really sort of have something about them that brings that shapeshifter vibe to light for you. Foxes are very independent and sort of self-sufficient as well. So I dare say it's going to be somebody who is quite, self-sufficient as well. sometimes to the point of being a little bit selfish. So just be wary of that. But there's definitely going to be a lot of communication coming from this person soon. But we will grab you a couple of these other cards as well. This is just a deck I've made up. It's not finished. It's just in a really rough stage at the moment. But we're just seeing if we can get you a little bit of extra info about this person for you, Leo. Leo, next big thing for Leo in love, please. Okay, so we're seeing August, M, and S coming on through. So M and S obviously could be initials. Obviously, they could also mean quite a lot of things. They could just be words that somehow are important to this connection. So if there is a particular word that's popping on out when you see M or S, maybe that could be important when it comes to this connection. As well as August being somewhat important there as well. That could be a time frame of sort of when you're meeting this person. They could be born in August, all those kinds of thing as well. That could be when this communication starts, or when the communication sort of changes from just communicating to actually, getting a little bit more serious there as well. So, let me know how that resonates for you guys, Leo. Of course, if it doesn't resonate for you, check your other placements, and you may get a bit of extra layer to the message there as well. Like I said, we are just doing a super quick reading today, see how we go. But moving over to Virgo, how are we, Virgo? Just doing a little reading today, just to sort of do a bit of a check-in with what's the next big thing coming up for Virgo in love. What's the next big thing happening for Virgo in love, please? Okay, so we're seeing the ship card there, followed by the clover. Okay, and now both of those have a joint sort of keyword there, which is good fortune. Okay, so definitely seeing good fortune in your love life in the near future. Okay, so with the ship, we do sort of talk about good fortune as in, your ships are coming in, it's loaded up with cargo and it's sailing straight on towards you there. It also can talk about somebody who might be at a distance, or you needing to travel to meet somebody, that kind of a vibe as well there. But with the clover, that is also a bit of a note to sort of take a bit of a risk, take a chance with love. So even if you meet somebody and you're like, I don't know whether I should actually travel to meet this person because they're at a bit of a distance. It's kind of letting you know, take that chance on love, because it could actually, bring some good fortune your way. Now, the clover also, like I said, a good fortune card, it does sort of talk about the short term as well. So I dare say, and the ship being a very sort of speedy type energy as well. So I dare say that this is coming up quick as well for you there. But I'll grab you a couple of extra clarification cards, see if we can get some extra info for you. What's coming up for Virgo in love, please? Okay, so we're seeing O coming through. We're also seeing Aries as well as Gemini. Okay, so Virgo, those two particular signs, Aries and Gemini, may be important. We've just passed Aries season not long ago, so you may have actually already met this person that's at a distance, if that's the case. We might have started talking to somebody in Aries season, or they may be in Aries. Aries might be a very a strong placement for you or them. But then we're also seeing Gemini as well. Okay, so Gemini is one of the upcoming seasons. Okay, so not far away. We're about to finish out Taurus season in a few weeks' time, and then we'll be heading straight on into Gemini season. So, like I said, pretty short term. I feel like that's talking about something important happening during Gemini season when it's talking about this ship and clover coming on through, because like I said, they've both got a bit of that speediness kind of element with them there. So I dare say we're talking about something important happening for you in love in Gemini season there, okay? And the letter O as well. So I'm kind of, when I, it could be an initial or something like that, an important keyword that might be important to you when it comes to the letter O, whatever pops into your mind. It's kind of popping into my mind a little bit, like that, oh, like that was unexpected kind of vibe, that, oh, just just oh, like that. That's kind of just what I'm hearing is it's like, oh, that surprised kind of sounding, oh. So it may be unexpected and it may happen really quickly and just be sort of something you're not, even if you're expecting it, it's still unexpected kind of vibe there, so that may obviously mean something different for everybody. But like I said, if you, I do really suggest people do follow their own intuition when they when we're working with things like basic letters as well. So if a particular word that starts with O, like orange or something like that, orangutan, you never know, like your first date could be at the zoo and the orangutan, you have a connection while you're visiting the orangutans or something like that. It could be totally, something totally random like that. Okay, so whatever sort of pops into your mind, follow your intuition as well there. Okay, so moving on to Libra. How are we, Libra? I'm just checking in today and having a look at what's coming up. Next big thing for Libra in love. What's the next big thing coming in love for Libra, please? And I'll grab one more. Okay, so we're seeing the familiar, the knife card there, and then followed by the crossroads. Okay, so I feel like with the crossroads closing that out, we are sort of heading into some important decisions when it comes to love. And it could actually be talking about cutting out something that's quite familiar to us already. Okay, so if you are already in a connection, you know, you know, I it, this knife does talk about a sudden break or change, okay, and with the familiar, that's somebody, that is traditionally the dog card, so it could actually be talking about a friendship rather than a actual relationship type connection, but it's sort of talking about there's something that's quite familiar to you. It feels kind of safe. But it may not actually be in your highest interest. And once you cut that out, then you're sort of having to really sort of make some decisions when it comes to where to here from love. Okay, so I'm feeling like the next big thing for you guys in love is that you're going to be faced with some sort of decision. It may even just be the decision of whether or not you want to cut this. I'm feeling like it's a person. Okay, so it's talking about whether or not you want to cut this person out or not. So no matter the choice you make, that's your path to follow. I'm not sitting here telling anyone to go and do anything, that doesn't suit them, but I am telling you to sort of follow your highest good. Okay, so if there's someone in your life that no matter how familiar you and them are, that, if it's not serving your highest good, surrounding yourself with that person, maybe you do need to make that decision to cut them free or take a break. It's not always just a sudden break completely away and never see that person again. It could just be sort of talking about having to take a bit of a break from that which is familiar to you, getting away and taking a bit of a trying a new path and seeing where that leads. So if it's not a person, it could just be talking about, trying something new and seeing where that path leads you, working out, making decisions for your best sort of interest when it comes to love and love connections. But I'll see if I can grab you some extra information with these cards. Libra, what's the next big thing coming up in love for Libra, please? Okay, so we're seeing August, October, and then the letter Q. Okay, so that's quite an odd letter to be drawing, but there's quite a lot of keywords that you probably can sort of imagine that do sort of start with the letter Q, like queen, query, Q, like a line. I'm sure you guys can probably think of a few others, but there's not many people. Well, there is still a lot of there is still names with Q, right? Like Quinton is is the only one that comes to mind from myself. Um, but it could also be like part of a surname or something like that. I suppose if somebody's got a Q in their name somewhere, you're going to notice that, aren't you? Like Lightning McQueen, you do sort of notice the Q. But Q could be important somehow when it comes to the next connection coming your way. Like I said, it could even just be Q, like a line, like you might meet someone while you're queuing up for a coffee or something and just start chatting. That's totally random, but it definitely could be that as well. And if there's anything in particular popping into your mind when you see the letter Q, keep that in mind because it could actually be more important than you think. But we are seeing October and August as well there. So that could be, in important time frame of when you may meet somebody, where important things in the connection are occurring, as well as, this may be their birth month, or you or them may have something, may have even met in the previous October or August. It could also be talking about those sorts of things. And if it doesn't resonate for you, you're more than welcome to check other placements, or also check some of my more detailed readings. I will be uploading the weekly sort of individual signs in the next sort of few days. And Libra, I think you guys are third in line this week, so should be sort of Wednesday, Thursday, I think. So, but yeah, thank you for your time, Libra, and I'll move over to Scorpio. How are we, Scorpio? Just looking at the next big thing coming up for you in love today. The next big thing in love for Scorpio, please. Okay, so firstly, we've got the broom there. So that always brings to mind, like cleaning house and, focusing on some home, sort of cleaning your house, basically. Like you might have somebody coming over unexpectedly, those sorts of things. But it also does talk about, sweeping the past away, sweeping away things that haven't served you in love, so that we can move on to the next phase there. And we are seeing the Lily and the Rider. Okay, they came out together. So that the Rider talks about good news on the way, and the Lily is quite a positive card as well. So I feel as though we're talking about some sort of not just good news, but it's probably going to be, something that's going to be long standing in your life. So definitely seeing, with the lily on the table there, definitely seeing that your next love connection could actually be something that, will stand the test of time, so to speak. It may be, a longer term sort of relationship coming on through for you. The lily does also talk about intimacy as well. Okay, so talking about, someone might be coming toward you with, you know, a bit of vulnerability. Okay, it can talk about emotional vulnerability and you displaying emotional vulnerability in return. But that intimacy, emotional intimacy, physical intimacy, looks like it is on the way. And the Rider is actually a pretty quick card too. So, I feel like once you sweep out anything that's not working in your life at the moment, you definitely will start to see some things headed your way, Scorpio. But we'll see if we can grab you any, specific details for you there. So, Scorpio, the next big thing coming to Scorpio in love, please. Okay, Scorpio. So we're seeing Libra, Sagittarius, and the letter W coming through for you there. So You know, Libra and Sagittarius, obviously both star signs. They may be important placements for yourself or this person. You know, could also be talking about the seasons as well. So Libra season's not really that far away. That's right before your birthday, Scorpio. So not really that far away there. And then Sagittarius, that's you know, the ones after you. So, you know, we're looking at you know, either side of your birthday could be quite an important time period for you there, Scorpio. You know, so time frame wise, it could be either of those, or like I said, it could be somebody's placement as well. But with the letter W, you know, they obviously one of their initials could start with the letter W, but you know, we also do talk quite a lot about keywords that might be associated with the letter W. So if there's a specific word that jumps to mind when you hear the letter W, you know, like woolen or weather, like it may be important to sort of keep that word in mind. It might crop up as important when it comes to that connection, okay? But if it doesn't resonate, make sure you check your other placements, or, you know, I will be uploading the individual weekly readings this week as well, so you can always check on that one as well, Scorpio. Okay, so we'll go over to Sagittarius. How are we, Sagittarius? Just doing a quick reading today, just to sort of see what's the next big thing headed your way in love. The next big thing in love for Sagittarius, please. Next big thing in love for Sagittarius. Okay, so we are seeing the bouquet coming through. So the bouquet really does talk about giving and receiving, you know, rewards and pleasure. But I'm feeling like this could actually be a physical gift. Okay, so I'm feeling like somebody may actually be giving you something in the near future. And if they're not giving you a physical item, a bit of an idea of what this person will be giving you. You know, we do see the bear and the moon there, okay? So the bear does talk about, you know, I'm feeling it's talking about power and strength today. And then the moon talks about emotional sensitivity a little bit. So I feel like this person is going to be giving you a lot of strength when it comes to dealing with emotional things. So, you know, I feel like, yeah, like that's going to mean something different for everybody, I suppose. But you know, I really feel like whoever this person is, they're going to be giving you like that shoulder to cry on, giving you ways to deal with emotions. They may be coming through, you know, very strong and powerful, protective type energy when it does come to your emotions. They may give you that vibe of, I want to give you protection over your feeling sad and all this sort of, you know, it's actually coming through quite lovingly, especially with the bouquet there. Okay, so feels like someone coming through and giving you sort of power over emotion in the next however long we're talking here. But you know, that's kind of what all I'm getting from that today. That they maybe, it could also, like I said, it could be a physical gift, but you know, I am feeling that it could actually be talking about somebody giving you some sort of emotional power, okay, and wanting to be protective of you. Okay, so what's coming up for Sagittarius in love, please? Just get you some extra keyword type things, time frames. Sagittarius, next big thing. Okay, so we're seeing October, November, and the letter L, Sagittarius. Okay, so November, I believe that's the start of Sagittarius season. So that might actually just be talking about you and you know, your birthday period. But you know, obviously it could also be talking about a time frame of when this is sort of happening. This strength and giving vibe is coming through to you. So October, November could be looking at that sort of as a time frame of when to sort of expect this, but also the letter L there. So L definitely could just be talking about love coming your way. But the person may have initials with the letter L. You may have an L initial, but L can also, like I said, be an important keyword type letter as well. So you may, find that, I'm finding sometimes too when the letters come out, it really sometimes does show the silliest little signs, okay? Because, if someone sends you a text message and they misspell a word and autocorrect changes a word, the letter that it gets changed to may be an L instead of the proper letter that they were trying to write. Okay, so even things like they try to write babe and it comes out saying babel, and that would be a bit of a sign to you that this is this person. So just something for you to keep in mind. Just like I said, totally random. When it comes to the keywords, sometimes it can just be, universe likes to have a laugh sometimes. So, even could just be laughing with this person. So whatever you sort of think of. I find important too. I want you guys to trust your own intuition when it comes to the messages I'm giving you. So if a certain word is popping out or a certain name is popping out that starts with the letter L, that may definitely be important there as well. For some reason, before I move on, I just heard the name Laura as well, so that might be important to somebody there as well. Okay, so moving on to Capricorn. How are we, Capricorn? I'm just looking today at what's coming up. The next big thing coming to you in love. What's the next big thing for Capricorn in love, please? What's the next big thing in love for Capricorn? Holy dooly, Capricorn on a roll. I don't know if we're on a roll. I honestly, when I do readings, they just completely wipe my mind afterward. So I can't recall my last Capricorn reading. I haven't had a chance to go back over that one yet. But we are seeing the ring and the stars. Okay, when I'm saying on a roll, so maybe that's something to do with this particular connection. You might feel like things sort of snowballing and then you feel like you're on a roll and all these wonderful things keep happening. So this could definitely be talking about more than just one wish coming on through with the wish fulfillment card there. The stars really do sort of talk about, things you've wished upon a star for, and definitely looking at a relationship coming for you with the ring there as well. So, it can be a very important connection that you've kind of been wishing for, whether or not you've been wishing on a specific person or just a more idealized idea in general of what you want in love. I feel like that's coming straight on for you with that ring. Any positive cycles that you're wanting to bring in, they're definitely on the way with that stars card as well. But we'll see if we can get you any extra info there, Capricorn. Okay, next big thing in love for Capricorn, please. Next big thing in love for Capricorn, please. Okay, so we're seeing the letter L, Capricorn. So the letter L may be an important initial for you or your person. That may be a bit of a sign of somebody coming on through for you. But, any keyword that pops up when you do see the letter L, it could actually be quite important for you. I personally, my previous ex, his name started with an L. Totally random. There you go. It's resonating for at least one Capricorn, being myself. Um, so there you go, L Capricorn. We are also seeing Taurus and Sagittarius. Now we are currently in Taurus season. Okay, so we may possibly be looking at something happening or starting to happen very, very soon before Taurus season is up. Okay, so we've only got a few more weeks left to go of Taurus season. So even if this is like, if this is a brand new person, you may be meeting them very soon, or starting to communicate with them very, very soon, that sort of a thing. And then Sagittarius being quite important as well. So this could also be yours or this person's placements. And like I said, it could be time frames as well. So something important may be happening in Sagittarius season, Taurus season, or we do have an important placement in one of those as well. I just saw 4444 on the timer as well there. So just sort of reiterating there that it was probably time frames rather than actual placements. Okay, so well, there you go, Capricorn. Let me know if that resonated for you guys as well. If we're here watching a reading about love, I'm sure that everyone will be hoping that that does resonate for them in some way, shape, or form. Because when it comes to love, those two cards together, that's perfect, basically. There's not many other combinations that come close to the ring and the stars when it comes to asking about relationships. Okay, so I'll move over to Aquarius. How are we, Aquarius? Just looking today at the next big thing in love for you. So the next big thing in love for Aquarius, please. Next big thing in love for Aquarius. Wow, okay, that's too many. Let me reshuffle and redraw that one for you. Okay, so first card that I have there is the Clover. Okay, so that really does talk about good luck. Something really lovely this way comes. Okay, so it is a pretty short-term card. So I dare say we will be seeing something happening pretty soon for you, Aquarius. It also does talk about, taking a bit of a risk, taking a chance on love. Okay, so if you've been holding yourself back a little bit, now's the time to sort of start taking those risks for what you want. Okay, the second card that popped on out there, we have the Cauldron. Okay, so with the magic is in the air, pretty much. We've stirred up all our potion and it's ready to go. So like I said, I feel like this is something that is sort of going to be super close for you guys there, Aquarius. So you may be meeting somebody very soon if you're not already in a connection. If you are already in a connection, yeah, the magic's in the air. Okay, so the magic definitely is there. It might just be talking about, fine tuning that little potion you've got baking away here. Okay, so it does also have quite a transformative energy with the Cauldron as well. Like turning one thing into another. It does have little dragonflies and butterflies up here in amongst all this colourful smoke or whatever. There is some little butterflies and dragonflies. So it definitely does talk about, that metamorphosis and transforming things, taking that risk to transform things. So we could even be talking about a friendship going to the next level, that kind of a thing with that transformative energy. Okay, so definitely something coming through very soon, I would say, though, Aquarius. But I'll grab some of these. These are just like my little homemade sort of cards here. I will be fixing them up. They're just really rough draft at the moment. But see if we can get a bit of extra info for you, Aquarius. So Aquarius, the next big thing in love for Aquarius, please. Okay, so just sort of confirming the short-term vibe I was feeling there, that something could be happening soon. We do have the Taurus card that's popped on out. So, it is Taurus season right now. So, and for the next couple of weeks. So, it definitely could be talking about something happening in the next couple of weeks during Taurus season. Otherwise, Taurus may be an important placement for you or your person. Okay, so Taurus is somehow going to be important there. Same as January and the letter M. Okay, so Um, you know, the letter M, it could mean quite a few things. It's not necessarily an initial. It could be some sort of keyword. Like it's coming into my mind though that it could be like a pet name this person's going to have for you, like Munchkin or something something random like that. Um, and then January being an important time frame as well. So this person may be born in January, or January may be your birth month if you're Aquarius. Half Aquarius, half is January, right? So it definitely could be talking about your own birth month there being important. But M, January, and Taurus. Okay, so those may be important for you as well. Okay, so last but not least, we have Pisces. How are we, Pisces? I feel like that's I say that to you guys all the time, and I really need to start switching it up a little bit. But with the all signs readings, I do include the timestamps so that you can just jump straight onto Pisces and not have to watch the entire video. Okay, so even if I am putting you guys last, I'm definitely not doing that in any intent there. I love me some Pisces. It's actually my best friend is a Pisces. I think I've told you guys before, so I do love Pisces energy. It's beautiful. Okay, so Pisces, what's the next big thing coming for Pisces in love? Next big thing in love for Pisces. Okay. We're seeing the familiar and the heart coming on through with the snake as well. Okay, so the next big thing coming up for you guys, I feel like with the familiar card, that traditionally is the dog card in Lenormand, so it can talk about having a strong friendship connection with this person, but it really actually, I feel it's talking way more about loyalty between you and this person. There's going to be a super strong sense of loyalty. Whatever's coming next in love, it's going to feel like loyalty is going to be important when it comes to that connection. And I'm also getting with it being called the familiar, it's going to feel familiar to you. So whether it's a past person or whether it's someone you just meet them and it's like you feel like you already know them, they're going to feel super familiar to you in one way, shape, or another. It's definitely going to be, love. Asking what's the next big thing in love, and love is the next big thing in love. So, pretty straightforward on that particular card, isn't it? But the heart card can talk quite a lot about those romantic kind of aspects as well, and with the snake card in a love reading, that pretty much talks about physical attraction and having a really super strong desire for that person. They may be a huge temptation, or vice versa. They may be super attracted to you, and the physical side of things is going to be quite hot and steamy when it does come to you and this person, because quite a few things we can say when it comes to snakes in the pants, I suppose. So it does have quite strong connotations to that activity as well. So that is obviously going to somehow be important. So the next big things in love for you, but that is actually perfectly good. Like, it's actually great to see that when it's alongside the heart, because we're seeing that it's not just physical attraction. There is this much deeper connection. So we've got, if you have a look at it like that, we've got the emotional connection. This person feels familiar to you. We've got this physical connection with this person, and then over the whole thing, it's just love. Like, it's a quite balanced sort of love too. And like I said, with that, loyalty comes through strong with that card as well. So that actually does sound pretty ideal for you there, Pisces. Now, I will grab you some of these little, they're just ones I've made up myself, and I definitely will be fixing them up and painting them, but I've just sort of written some keywords and letters and months on these cards. So we'll see what we get for you, Pisces. The next big important thing in love for Pisces, please. Look at this, Pisces. We've got S and X, so we're only missing, you know. So that's obviously going to be quite important. Okay, so you may be meeting this person as like just a one-off kind of hookup thing, and then it sort of leads to a lot more than that. But you know that as soon as those two cards came out together in that order, you know, that's the first thing that comes to mind. I don't know if everyone is as silly as I am, but that's definitely the first thing that comes to mind for me. But you know, these could also be important initials, you know, and also a lot of keywords come through when it comes to the letters as well. So you know, X being one of them difficult sort of letters, but you know, you may have to go in for a random X-ray and meet this person. So you know, it could be something just totally random like that as well, like, because you know, there's not many words that have X in them. So you know, like that's the only thing I can kind of think of it myself. But if you have anything in particular that's jumping out in your mind there, you know, it may be that as well. So really trust your intuition with when you see the letters. They may somehow be important there. But we also had April coming on out as well. So currently is the last day of April as I'm filming this. It's about to flip over into May. So obviously you may have actually met this person recently and just sort of not um, sort of realised, and that it won't be until your next sort of, but it could also be talking about that might be their birth month, things like that. You know, April somehow being important. Okay, I do find too, you know, April is a name as well sometimes. So they may have someone, or you may have someone in your life whose name is April. So April could definitely be important somehow to the connection coming on through for you. Um, there you go. But if you're a Pisces who has, you know, involved themselves in some SX behaviors during April, maybe that person could actually be a little bit more important than you first thought. That's not going to resonate for everybody, but you know, like I said, if you're as silly as me, you'd probably say the same thing, right? But there you go, Pisces. That's what we have for you. But thank you, everyone, for watching. And make sure you leave a comment and let me know what you thought. You know, let me know. Like I said, I will be painting this deck that I've made up myself. Let me know if you like that. If you feel that maybe I should have drawn some extra cards or anything like that. You know, let me know what you think. And as always, if it doesn't resonate, feel free to check other placements, or you know, hold out until we do our weekly readings, and we'll get into a bit more detail in those. So otherwise, thank you so much for all your time, and I'll see you again soon.